The super trawler Margiris will sail into Australian waters very soon. It's heading for Tasmania, and its arrival there is likely to meet a storm of protest. The Dutch trawler is one of the world's biggest and has been set a quota of 18,000 tonnes of mackerel and redbait by the Australian Fisheries Management Authority. But the Commonwealth Ombudsman is formally investigating the quota after several complaints from independent Tasmania MP Andrew Wilkie, who doesn't want the trawling to go ahead.
Well, I am quietly confident that the Commonwealth Ombudsman will find that the Australian Fisheries Management Authority did not act properly when determining the quota relevant to the super trawler. Certainly from my investigations there have been a number of serious breakdowns in proper process. There are in fact two AFMA committees which give advice on this. One of them, the Management Advisory Committee, clearly did not follow the Fisheries Administration Act, and in fact the CEO of AFMA has said as much in a letter to me. In fact, he said that AFMA do not take the Act literally, which is a remarkable admission. And more recently I've discovered that the members of the other advisory committee, the Resource Assessment Group, feel that their concerns were not recorded properly nor communicated properly to the Fisheries Management Authority.
Now, the Federal Environment Minister Tony Burke is looking at whether the super trawler may breach endangered species legislation. Do you get the sense from him that he wants to stop the trawler arriving as well?
I get a strong sense that both the Tasmanian state government and the federal Labor government both completely misread this situation, completely misunderstood the risks with having the second largest boat, a fishing boat on the planet, based out of Tasmania, operating in Australian waters, completely misread the public mood. You know, no matter where you go in Tasmania, you're hard-pressed to find anyone who thinks it's a good idea for the super trawler to be coming to Australia, as well as the legislative concerns that I've identified and raised with the Ombudsman. There are no shortage of scientists and fishermen and fisherwomen who are querying the science and the fact that there is a serious risk of at least localised depletion from having such a large vessel based out of the same port.
But the ship is on its way. It's due to arrive in a couple of days' time. What sort of reaction will it receive when it does get here?
Oh, I'm confident it will receive a very hostile reaction. Putting aside the legislative concerns and the concerns about the science, a big issue is there is no community support for this in Tasmania. There are very few people who think this is a good idea, and it cuts right across political lines. Everything from Liberal voters to Labor voters to Green voters to independent voters, everyone seems to think this is a bad idea for one reason or another. Either concerns about process or the science or the risk of localised depletion, and sometimes it's almost like the vibe. People look at pictures of this vessel. It's 142 metres long. It's coming here because it's already fished out fisheries in other parts of the world. It's not the sort of fishing people want to see in Australian waters and in particular in Tasmanian waters.